Look at this. We got a wheel that spins and stops with the brake lever. Man, that brake feels good with a completely rebuilt caliper, all new brake lines, and completely rebuilt master cylinder. Today, what we want to do is we want to do the same thing to the rear. We want to get the rear wheel put back on the bike with the axle and everything torqued to spec, and we want to build up that rear brake system, and so then we'll have a real roller. All right, first thing we got to do on this rear wheel fitment is we're going to replace this rear sprocket, and that requires bending down these tabs all around so that we can loosen up the bolts. Ooh, these are not that tight. I'll have to look at the torque spec. Must be pretty low, actually. Okay, I removed this oil seal. I really should replace this, even though it seems like it's in really good condition. I don't have one, though. I might have to get one. I do have this bearing, however. So we can replace that. I checked my parts inventory. Actually, I did get the seal. Suzuki OEM bearing and seal. I've ordered so many parts. I can't remember what I ordered and what I didn't order. So we're going to replace both of those. Got that heated up. That came out pretty easy. All right, we got this hub pretty well cleaned up. We got the factory bearing. And we're gonna pack this thing with some lithium, high temperature, extreme pressure, moly reinforced, full synthetic grease, specifically designed for high pressure, high temperature applications like wheel bearings. Let's heat this thing up. There we go. I'm going to get these torqued up to 25 pound-feet of torque. There we go. We've got a rebuilt hub, new sprocket, and I spent some time cleaning up the axle and all the other components to put the axle on the bike. I've also got a totally new drive chain. Here's the original, just checking length versus the new one. Turns out they're the same length. It's a master link chain, so installation should be pretty easy. Guys, there is one last thing I want to do before we get this wheel back on the bike, and that is change out this turn signal. Seemingly unrelated, but the fasteners to get this tail section off are underneath the fender, and it's way easier to get at those without the wheel on there, so we're going to do that first. Okay, we got the turn signal off, and you can see there's a ground wire, and then there's a wire that goes to the light through this bolt, which is a bit of a weird setup. So I think we'll remove that bolt. Here's our new one. Let's make sure this is aligned properly. Let's get a couple of little mini zip ties on this wiring. All right, we got the wheel roughly positioned. I didn't film putting the rear wheel on because honestly that was a bit of a faff. I had my son come out here and help me. You sort of need to have 3 or 4 hands to do it, but we got all the spacers cleaned up, everything assembled. We got the brake caliper on. Yeah, nothing's torqued down yet. We got to do that, and we got to run our brake line from the master to the caliper. All right, we got our new custom black stainless brake line routed. Got that torqued down. We got to do these caliper bolts to 24 pounds. All right, what we're gonna do is torque link nut to 18 pound-feet, which is right in the middle of the spec. We gotta put a cotter pin in that. Okay, we got our brake system all set up for bleeding. I've just got the brake line going into this container, trying to get this back end lower than the reservoir so I can use gravity to help me prime the system with brake fluid. Let's fill up the reservoir. This caliper has 2 bleed screws on it, so I'm gonna give this a few pumps. Ooh, that doesn't look good. You can still see quite a bit of air bubbles. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, now you can see the brake fluid is nice and clean. Doesn't have any bubbles. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, we rebuilt the rear hub. We cleaned up all the axle parts, got the rear wheel installed. We got the rear brake system installed, the brand new custom made black braided stainless brake line. We bled the brakes, they're functioning. We even changed the turn signal. So now our bike's got 2 wheels again.